Hello everyone, this is StarCraft Woot, or Agent AAA as I'm generally known in the OpenRA community. I'm planning on using this channel to make some videos about OpenRA's Tiberian Dawn mod, and how to play it, as well as some more general gameplay videos and in the future update analysis videos. Pretty soon, I'll be diving into the meat of it with these videos, but I started with just a fun little opener you can pull with a friend. We will be going over the early helipad start this video, which is a rarely used build order that can be used to create very powerful drop attacks to throw an enemy off balance. Now this build order is rarely used due to the fact that it is high in early micro, costs a lot of money, and sets you back in terms of getting more advanced troops or vehicles quite a bit early on. So why am I going over it? Because this build order is fun to pull from time to time, and beyond anything else, more than just helping people play the game better or to see new strategies, I want to encourage people to have fun with this game. I love this game personally. The OpenRA Tiberian Dawn mod implementation is one of my favorite things to play. And there are so few people that play it still, and I'd really want to encourage them to, because it's a really fun game, and it's really great, and it's really simple, but it's really enjoyable. So let's begin. Alright, the first part of the build is fairly standard. You simply build a power plant, build an early refinery most of the time. You're going to want to go for a refinery over a hand of nod early, because you are going to need a little bit of extra income to pull this build off quickly and efficiently. So, well, a hand of nod is generally not advised. Alright, just gonna scout with this recon bike here. You will generally want to scout your opponent if you do want to try this build. This build does work very badly against anybody who's going for early air or early air defenses. So the moment that you scout any of that, you generally want to pull back. The Hand of Nod is the second building to go up, and the moment that you have it out, you'll generally want to start pumping a few rocket soldiers out. Depending on what you want for a composition, you'll want to build a few rocket soldiers and a few minigunners with this build. You'll also want to get an early guard tower building as soon as humanly possible, because your defenses at home are going to be weak, and you're going to want to be able to just plant that down to take out some opponents. Now, the main point of this build is to get an early transport copter out, and combine that with a drop full of rocket and minigunner infantry that you will continually deploy and dedeploy as the situation calls. Alright, you're gonna get this transport copter over here. Now this is gonna be a little bit harder to pull off because this is an AI opponent, and as a result it is going to be a little bit superhuman in its reactions. It does have full map vision. It does have a fair amount of knowledge that a human opponent generally wouldn't. Alright. Let's get one more power plant going. Alright, so again, the basis of this entire build is basically constant pressure. You're going to want to be constantly doing things that put your opponent off balance. And again, with the AI, it's going to be a little bit harder because he does keep a few units around at all times. But we're going to use it right now. We're going to see right here. As a result of this, I'm already smoking his power plant. He's going to try and stop me with these, but I can actually pull back here fairly quickly and just get out of there. And now I'm safe from harm. Now he's chasing this. Now he's not attacking me because he's too busy trying to deal with my much faster transport copter. Oh, that is a gun turret. We do not want that. Alright. So normally if he just has a couple like scout forces, normally if you are deploy in time, you are going to have enough power to take it out. So yeah, the moment that you see that, and immediately regain as many units as you can. If you can't get someone because they're just too slow and they're not going to grab there in time, then just get them out of there. It's not a problem. Keep in mind you are very weak while this whole harass is going on, because you have about 10 of your units not near your base, not necessarily able to fully respond quickly, because while you're not really in danger of being hurt by these guys if you do undeploy and redeploy quick enough, you at the same time can't really deploy too close to the enemy forces without losing a lot of units. Now as you can see here, I'm just taking out this refinery very quickly. The other issue is that this does delay your communication center and the like a little bit, but as you can see here, it is still useful. Like, it is a functioning, it is definitely a functional build. But anybody who is smart enough at this point will generally build some anti-air that works a little bit better, like an APC or a rocket soldier, and just destroy this whole build. So don't really do this unless you can really surprise your opponent, and just like for fun between friends. Like, don't use this seriously in a tournament context or the like. Now as you can see here, I'm getting a lot of leeway from the AI opponent, which is probably set to easy. That's actually normally more difficult in OpenRA, which is why I picked it, but I do believe it was a mistake here because he hasn't really responded to any of these attacks. I think possibly due to some error in its programming, because normally I would not be getting quite this much ground. However, this does show you the basics of why this build is viable and why it's useful. We'll just play this game out to its inevitable end, which shouldn't be that much longer. You can see the weakness of this in that anything that really takes out troops quickly, or really most advanced technology in general, shuts this down very quickly. I'm actually not sure what happened there. Oh, airstrike. That's actually something else to note, is that an airstrike can really shut that down very quickly. You definitely want to be doing this pre-comm center whenever you can. And if you can't, then you better be careful. The moment that communication center comes up, you do have that general risk. Alright. As you can see, the one good thing about this build is it does transition very quickly into Apaches, which, if he hasn't really built to deal with the Chinooks as much as the infantry themselves, is very useful. And especially combined with the amount of disabling your opponent's economy and the like that you can achieve with the build, the Apaches can really come in and just help clean up and help finish the job. They're also good at dealing with some of the infantry that your opponent might have been forced to build themselves, as Apaches aren't really shut down even by infantry capable of just doing anti-air damage, at least not efficiently, and especially not in groups, due to their lovely splash damage. To note, that is the other worry with a comm center already up, is that they can simply rebuild their construction yard. It won't work out as well for them right now due to the fact that they're in a powered down state, but like every other build, you'll have to keep that in mind, that just because you've taken out the construction yard doesn't mean you've won or that the game is functionally over. Alright, so as you can see, we've basically won this match for the most part. However, we have just kept expanding and continue to just gain control of the map. We have an airstrike up in a second or so. Let's see that just take shit out here. Well, that airstrike got one rocket soldier. Possibly not the most effective I've ever made, but it killed a guy. Take out that minigun. As you can see here, he is managing to get a few medium tanks out, but he can't really keep up. And I would honestly be winning this with much more ease had I really been paying attention to my economy properly, as it's finally began to catch up to where it needed to be. And with this mixture of just minigunners and flamethrowers and Apaches, there isn't much left for them to do, really. Let's see them take these out. We're gonna just take out these last few that was bad on my part. I should have immediately focused down that tank, but either way, as you can see, they're not really able to push out of their base. They're fairly stuck. Only their non-powered down defenses are really capable of doing anything. And their last power plant is about to go down permanently. To note, unlike the original Red Alert mod, do keep in mind in Tiberian Dawn, you cannot power down your buildings, regardless of what you'd like to do. So if you do, say, go down in power, you're going to have to sell a building. I do believe this is actually true to the original Tiberian Dawn, which also had had no power down button. So I do believe that's done for faithfulness' sake. Alright, we're just going to take this last thing out. Alright. So this is not... Normally I'd want to just attack this with my Apaches, but here I may as well make an inefficient trade and end the game. And this would be the game. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm going to have some more videos up soon. If you'd like to see more OpenRA, you can check out places like Ryder Rock On's channel, which has quite a few casted games. I'll link that in the description below. OpenRA itself is available at openra.org for anyone who has watched this video without knowing what it is. And I'll be putting out another video in possibly a couple days. I'll see you all soon.